It's January 2026 and we're making plans. And as I'm making plans, I can already feel the tension between understanding what I have accomplished and not starting over from scratch. Like I personally have a tendency to, but I think a lot of us have the same tendency. And on the other hand, not just relying on everything that worked in 25 and just copy pasting everything to 26. I think one of the golden rules of business, but also of how the humans evolve, is that what got you here won't take you there. So I'm pretty concerned about both not seeing what has been accomplished and not understanding that what are the things that really worked last year, they might not work this year. Now, the running a business is relatively simple. Let me draw it for a second. So what does it look like to run a business? Well, there is you, and then there is the market. You control you, and you can know who you are. And once you know who you are, you then know what your to-do list is, what needs to be done, what is the internal that needs to be done, and what is the world-facing work that needs to be done. You do not control the market. That's interesting. You do not control the market. You can, though, observe the market and see what's happening. And sometimes, in a very, very slight way, maybe one-to-one, you can also dictate something to the market. You can influence the market. This is one of the reasons people, for instance, create videos, right? Because they want to influence a certain market. So this is, in the simplest terms, what the business looks like. Okay. And ideally, the plan for your 2026 should be, super simple. And it could be something like, I know that my strengths lie here and here and here, and I observe that something is happening in the market, and I'm going to influence the market by telling them this. Now, I'm not as evolved, I have to confess. So my plan is a little bit more complex than that. But since this is pretty dry right now, let's add something super, super practical. So in 2025, I didn't shoot a video like this. I was at the office, I had a whiteboard, and I drew all of this bunch of things. Okay, so I highlighted that there was a certain situation, and I had a line of products, and I highlighted who was supporting me, and then I had this whole marketing plan and content plan, but there was a lot missing here, and there was way too many things that maybe didn't belong. So let's start again based on this simple matrix. There is me, there is a market. Maybe the most important thing is that I continue doing the work on myself and I know who I am. Unfortunately, I'm not that simple and I don't have just one market. And so, unfortunately, what is going to happen here is that I describe 3 markets. And apologies for not being yet as evolved. So my first and foremost market is speaking. Now, speaking, professional speaking, keynote speaking, is an established market. Okay, there is increased competition, is a market with clear rules. In the past, 50 to 100 years, the rules of professional speaking have been pretty much the same. What changes are the trends, what changes are the way people get together and why do they get together. But the speaking world has existed since the 5th century before Christ. So 2,500 years ago, there were the first paid public speakers. So this is clear market. What do I want to focus on in 2026? Fulfillment, making sure that I deliver the best speech. I make the audience happy. I make the organizers happy. I'm easy to work with from the beginning. I help them promote the event if it's a public event, that I'm there for them, that I follow up, that I follow up with the feedback, what happens afterwards, that I provide an all-around great experience for my speaking clients. This is the focus. We'll get to the marketing, but this is the focus. And this is the first market that I'm serving. Then there is a second market that I'm focusing on, which is the business coaching. Now, business coaching is this kind of deep work that happens with selected individuals that really want to completely change their business and evolve it. And this, again, is a market where I want to focus on the fulfillment. I want to make my current clients even happier than they are today, maybe meet some other ones, but the focus is on fulfilling, making them the happiest they can be. Again, this is a market where it existed for quite a while, mentorship, coaching. There's nothing very specific that I observe. There is a third market, and that is founder communication. Now here instead, I had a little bit of a light bulb moment, and I realized what I've done in the past 15 years when I've been delivering communication workshops, communication coaching, courses, and so on, is something that today is an increasing market because marketing is failing. Now, traditional marketing has become an AI thing. And what is happening to startups is that they are growing through the marketing done by the founding team. And if I can help, and I am helping founders communicate better, I can change the path of these startup companies, especially if they are going through funding rounds, and especially if, and it's not just if, it's just when they need to start communicating to their market through channels like Instagram or, more importantly, LinkedIn. So I'm observing that the founder-led growth here in the market, founder-led sales, are a big thing happening here in the market for founder communication. And again, here, I want to focus on fulfillment. I want to make sure I create some incredible cases with my current clients. Unfortunately, with the business coaching and the founder communication, some of the work is under NDA. Some of the work cannot be talked about, but I want to make sure that these are really crisp, happy clients that get exactly what they want. And I'm going to tell some of these stories very, very soon. Actually, if you hop on my website, matteoc.com, you will find some of those cases. That is matteoc.com, which is actually a brand new website. Oops, there you go. So this is what I'm going to do in terms of me in the market. I see that this is consolidating, and it also plus competition, but it's pretty fixed rules. Here, I would say nothing is happening in the market. Here, there is a big push towards founder-led growth that will drive demand for founder communication. So this is what I observe, and I continue doing the work for myself. However, I live in a world where I only eat what I hunt. So how is the hunting going to happen? How am I going to be fulfilling if I have no clients? So what I've devised for this year, and I hope it's as simple as possible. And I know that next year, and if you already are in 27, go look to the 27 video, because I know that the plan for 25 was kind of me defending myself with a plan. And right now in 26, I can feel that I'm kind of defending myself by making this plan. And I'm trying to simplify. So maybe next year, it's going to be just about one of these three. So that would be a great simplification for 27. Who knows? But anyway, how am I going to hunt? So I'm going to use two things that are completely widely separate from each other. I'm going to go really narrow, and I'm going to communicate and outreach one-on-one. I'm going to use email. I'm going to have direct outreach. I'm going to continue organizing small events and keep the word of mouth. Just ask previous clients, how is it going? Do you have anybody that should work with me in your company, or is there somebody in your network? So most probably, if you are in my network, you will get an email from me or a LinkedIn DM or a WhatsApp in the course of 2026. Narrow strategy. And then go super, super wide. So with nothing in the middle, I want to go LinkedIn, get better at LinkedIn. And I'm not trying to measure that in terms of I want more reach, I want more results, but I want to enjoy being on LinkedIn and I want to share more value on LinkedIn. And I want to do the same on YouTube. Actually, I've stopped like 4 or 5 months ago looking at the stats of YouTube. I've also, as you've seen, the channel hasn't been, there hasn't been as many videos. There were personal stuff that I was dealing with, but I'm back shooting videos. I'm back and I want to shoot these videos with new rules. I'm just gonna not edit them, just publish them as they are, just do the little word gaps, and then increase my production on YouTube so you can get more of these. And this is the whole strategy for the year. As I said, it should be simpler. I will hope it will be simpler. I hope next year it's simpler. If there is the next year video, just look for it on the channel. For sure, you can see a very distinct difference between last year and this year. I think it's completely different vibe, a different mood. It's also much shorter video because last year, I don't remember, it was 30-minute video to describe all the aspects. But if you have any questions about this strategy, or if you want to, add something or give me a suggestion, us coaches, we need coaches and mentorship as well. And we do, and I do get a lot of that. Leave it in the comments. Let me know. And yes, I am back. I will shoot more videos soon. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful 2026.